I'm not an electrician, just so everybody knows. I am just a hobbyist that knows a little bit about electricity. So, my car, with the harness included with it, unfortunately, it didn't work. So, I'm gonna have to rewire the harness to fit my car because I didn't know this, but my car actually had an amplifier in it, the factory amplifier. So it wasn't actually putting any audio output through the harness, and it was going through an optical cable instead. So I'm gonna have to rewire the whole system. But instead of doing that, I want to actually do a proper assessment on this unit and see how it is, the output of the unit, and then I'll be using this unit here to test it. This is my favorite head unit. It's my most fancy head unit. It's not the best head unit, but it does its job. It's a decent head unit. I'll try to get some focus on it. But it's got Bluetooth, and the main reason I bought this unit back when I bought it was the 6 RCAs that do about 5 volts output. That's probably the only reason I bought this head unit. And the Bluetooth and 6 outputs and DTA, etc. But I'm not going to use the DTA on this, I'll be using DTA on here. So I'm busy at the moment cutting up the wires, and I'm going to link it up to this harness, but it's going to be a temporary setup. So I'm not going to do a solid connection. Well, it will be solid, but just not a permanent connection. So I'll be wiring this up to this here, and I'll do some magic off behind the scenes and get it done. So I've got my power supported now with the remote, and next step is going to put these in. These are the speaker outs from the head unit. The head unit is a 50x4, I believe, but it doesn't matter because we're not testing this, we're testing that. So you'll see here that this has some tin on it. This is conductive, it's very conductive, and this is actually from an SQ build that I did for my previous car. So this head unit I can't switch into my current car, but I can use it as a test dummy, and that's just part of the rig that I had set up. It was fully shielded cabling all around. So my next video will be having all of these connected. These here, if I remember correctly, are the outs, and then these are the inputs that are separated. All the cables are now done. It's all connected. Then I can just go and plug this into there, and then plug the other side of this into this unit. And then I can take these outputs here and throw them into my speakers. I have something special for this, but we're not actually going to use this for anything other than testing. But I will plug in speakers just to see if they are working and functioning. I'll be doing all my tests on an oscilloscope on these wires. And I will also be using this over here to test the RCA output of this, and maybe even throw in a subwoofer onto this unit. This is pretty old. It's not anything amazing. It's only 2 to 2 watts. I'm not sure if it's certified or not, but it's pretty good for its age, and it still works and it does its job. So I'll be running a subwoofer through here. So all in all, the test bench will feature this unit initially, and then stage 2 I'll put in the amplifier. Okay, so everything is on now. It's connected, and it is definitely fused. And this unit here should be off at the moment. When I turn this on, it should turn the unit on. So I'll turn you on, and this will turn on. Okay, so that's one half of the job done. So I have got a 1 kilohertz sound wave playing on the laptop over there, 1 kilohertz sound wave, and if I just connect this wire here, it will work. Okay, so I found my oscilloscope. Now I'm busy playing a 1 kilohertz test tone. You can see on my oscilloscope it is not focused. Hopefully it will focus any second. Okay, it doesn't want to focus, but okay, so I'm going to increase the volume on the radio and you'll see it goes square there. So that's clipping. So we're going to pull it back a bit, and then there is not clipping. I'll go one notch that has a little bit of clip there. So I'm going to just bring it down. This is not the clipping of the head unit, this is the clipping of the actual DSP, the high input of the DSP. It's doing 9 volts of RMS at 50 hertz without clipping. Phone froze there. Okay, so and then if I increase the volume a little bit, it starts distorting. So bring it back a bit to 26 and 9 volts and 25 volts VPP on a 50 hertz tone. Okay, so I've wired up the speaker, turn it back on, I put the subwoofer back on, well, not back on, I just put it on, and then I've got head unit feeding the DSP feeding the amplifier. Amplifier's only powering the 12-inch sub over there, and then the DSP is powering the speaker here. Everything is flat at the moment, both on the radio and on DSP. So I'm gonna go and play with the DSP, and I'll close that. This is an NCS playlist for hardstyle. It's one of my preferred genres. So, unfortunately, I can't do what I'm about to do at high volume because my neighbors are literally my landlords, so and they don't like music. So, or what I'm about to do, they're definitely not gonna like what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna do this like semi properly. I've set the radio up to like a decent volume, not too loud, not too soft, just so that the microphone can pick it up. I've placed the microphone over here, attached to this cable, and it's not meant to do anything. This test is just to demonstrate how one would tune this DSP for optimal results. So this is just a cheap microphone. Get it off wherever your local stores are. Doesn't matter. It's just a microphone. Just a stationary microphone that I can move around and put where I want to put. And what I'm going to do is I've set this up already, and I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to just do 2 repetitions. This is not what you must do. You must do higher repetitions and a higher length. But this is literally just so I can get a quick measurement and show you how to set it. So when you do yours, you want to do at least 1M with at least 4 repetitions, I would say. So, and this at 0, at least in my opinion. So I'm just going to do this, and it will take me 10 seconds, and I'll run the test, and I'll hit start. Okay, so this is the current response of the system, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go up here in actions. I'm going to go to actions, and I'm just going to SPL actions. There we go. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put smoothing on this. I'm going to do basic smoothing. So this smoothing here is what I'm going to do, and then you can see that the response at this frequency here, which is, where Where's my bar? Okay, so you can see, let me just increase that a little bit, pull this up. So this is the current response of the system. Okay, let me just make it even simpler. So let me just go 1-to-1 smoothing, apply, use the high smoothing if you can. This is just for demonstration purposes. So you can see there's a dip here, and you can see it raises up here, and it's raise, dip, raise, dip. And what you want to do with the DSP essentially is to try to bring this to a more acceptable thing. So I'm going to go into EQ, and I'm going to bring in 4-inch speaker, and I'm going to set this to 0, just for, this is just for testing, like, don't get too excited. And then we will hit, so that's the line that we want to go for. So we want to calculate a target from the response, and based on this response, what's going to be most achievable is hitting it here. So you can see in here how to do that. Bring this down. And then we're going to hit optimize gains. And that's going to hopefully do something. Okay, didn't do anything. Let's go to optimize gains and cues. Okay, it's not working. Let's go back up. It's generic 4-inch. So your individual gain, I'm going to set to 20, and I'm going to set that to 0, and I want to get a 5 dB difference, and then that should okay, it doesn't want to pull up, so we'll just do this manually. Normally this is like the quicker, easier way to do things, but it's not working. So what we're going to do is, this is the target that we want to hit. You can see this over here is 70 Hz. What we're going to do is we go to the DSP, and 70 Hz, we're going to go to the subwoofer. So it's currently set just at the center, and we'll go to the 70 Hz frequency, which is locked at the moment. So I'm going to go PEQ. I'm going to take this and I'll make this 70, and I'm going to go ahead and reduce this by 7. Then let's go to the next frequency, which is this is 70. We can see the target is just below there, so it's currently doing 80. So we want to do -10. So we'll go back to here, and we'll take this to -10. It's about there. Then I'll go back to here, and the next frequency we want to hit is this one here. So this is pushing into the mid range. So we're going to take this, and this is a 381. I'm going to go back into Puzu, and we're going to go to the route speaker. I'm going to get this into parametric mode, and this is the close frequency. I'm going to go at 3.1, and we're going to boost this by, let's have a look what it says. So this is 381, it's measuring 64. measuring 64 there, and the target that we want is 68. So 64, 68, that's about 4 dBs. Maybe we're not trying to be accurate here, we're just doing an estimation so you can see how you can tune it. So that's there, and it's plus, I'm going to do +6. Okay, then we'll go back here, and the next frequency we want to hit is over here. I'm going to bring this down. This is at 75, and we're trying to hit 70 as the line. So 1.4K. We're going to go back to the Puzu app, and 1.4 would be there. We'll take this 1.4, and we are going to decrease that. I think go back and check. So we're going to decrease this by 5. Go back there, and it's minus 4.7. That should be fine. Then we'll go back to root, and the next frequency we want to hit is this one here. This is 3.6, and we're going to push this up. It's at 66, and so we're just going to push it up 2 dBs, and we'll go back to Puzu, and we'll increase. I've got the frequency. And we'll go back, check the frequency. This is 3.58. So we'll go back to Puzu again. 3.58. Let's hit this one. 3.580. And we're going to be increasing this, I think. Let's go back to, oh, wrong button. That's going to open up. So this we're increasing by 4. Go back here and increase that by 5. And we'll go back here, and then this here is 73, and we're trying to hit 78. So that is 5 that we're going to reduce it by. So 7K, we're going to reduce by 5 dB. So let's make this into 7,000, and we're going to do that 7,000, and we're going to decrease that by 3 dB. So, and then we're also going to go back to here, and we're going to force it to not play any frequencies it shouldn't play. So for subwoofer, we're going to chop it off about there. So let's chop it off at 100 rather. So at 100, let's do in between 150. So we'll do 150. We'll go into here, and we're going to take this filter here. I'm going to put it in. It's moving the top thing there. We're just going to make this 150, and that's going to cut off 150, and we'll make this a 12 dB. Then we'll do the same for the subwoofer, which is here, and we're going to hit this one here, the low pass. I'm going to bring it in to about 150, and I just want to change a Q on this. So the Q is the tightness, and we're going to take this tightness. Let's make it, I don't remember which one is better. Let's do 1. No, it's not 1. It is, let's do 30. Okay, maybe too aggressive. Let's do 15. Too aggressive. 15. Still a bit aggressive. Let's make it 10. And then we'll go back to this low pass filter. We'll make it 150 like the other one. Okay, so now we're going to retest it. This should be saved. This was the center, and this is the right. I'm going to minimize this, and you're going to measure it again. So measure exactly the same settings, and we'll start the measurement. This is the new measurement. So we're going to take this, same as before, and we're just going to take off this here. There's the new measurement. I'm going to grab the measurement by itself, which is, turn that off. So just that measurement, we're going to do that, apply smoothing, and let's bring back the original. So, and target. So we're getting there, it's getting closer, and what you'll do is you'll keep on doing this. But this is if you're not doing it correctly. I'm not doing it correctly at all. What you'll want to do to get the most accurate setup is you want to test the speakers individually. So here I've done the speakers together as a system. So I've got the 5-inch and the 12-inch playing together. The actual way to do this correctly and is to delete all of this and redo it. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to come back. We're going to go back to the Puzu, and we're going to turn off the, let's turn off the right speaker, and we'll just do the subwoofer tuning. So you want to do this preferably, and we'll just go back to room, and I'm going to turn off all of this. I'll leave the target on, and we're going to measure this time because we're just doing the subwoofer. I'm not going to run the full sweep. I'm going to run from 10 up until 200. Okay, and I'm going to just do a 10 to 200 sweep, and we're going to see what the subwoofer responds with and go from there. So start. It's quick. Okay, so this is the subwoofer response. This is our goal, 70, and we're just going to go into the setting again, actions, and we're going to smooth it, apply smoothing. So this is our goal, this green line. We can see that this is lacking at 20. Let's go to 20. 20 is lacking, and 100 is a bit high, and 40 is a bit high. So we'll go to 20. This is about, let me actually sit down. I've been standing the whole time. Okay, so this is 20 hertz, and it's measuring about 63. And we want our target, let's just make it a 70 target to make it easier to calculate. So this is 63, we want 7 then. So we'll take the 20 hertz frequency, we'll go back to Puzu, and we'll take a 20 hertz frequency, and we're going to increase it by 7. Okay, then let's go back here. Then the next frequency we want to hit is 50. Let's go in between, so 47. 47 is at 77, so we want to reduce it by 8. 77.8. So we'll reduce it by 8. So 50, and we'll reduce that by 'That's close enough, and let's just make it a bit weaker. We'll make this also, no, we'll leave that strong. So let's go 20. Okay, and then we'll go to the next frequency, which is 100, and we're going to reduce 100 by, so it's measuring 76, so we'll take it down by 7. So back to Puzu, 100, and take it down by now we should get better results from the system, and we'll go back here and measure, start. Okay, so there's the original response, here's the new response, and when we go and apply smoothing, you can see it is getting better. So we need to do more tuning. So this one here, it's 44. Let's go back here, and I'm just going to grab one of these frequencies here because I'm not using it. Make it 44, and we're going to change this by, decrease it by 4, and then make it tighter. Get 4. Then we'll go back to here and see what else we need to do. So this is 44, reducing 44. I'm going to reduce it just a bit more than what we did. So 44, I'm going to reduce it by 7. Okay, then we'll go back here, and the next frequency we're going to hit is 76, and back here 76. Let's do 70, and we'll just bring it down a touch more than it was. Then we go back here, and we run another test. Okay, so this is the new test result. Again, I'm going to take this and apply smoothing, and you see it's getting better. And you won't get it perfect. It's a lot of work to get it perfect, but you can get it close. So I'm gonna leave this like this now. I'm gonna consider myself happy. Let me just turn off the, which one was it? This one, that's the second one. So this is the first response we got, and this is the second. See, it's a lot more flat across the range, and that's more what we want. Bringing the first test that we did, you can see it's definitely become a lot flatter. And now when I go and I play my music, you only hear bass because I haven't turned the speaker back on. So we'll turn the speaker back on, and we'll play. And you'll want to do that for every speaker. So you'll go front left, you'll unmute it, mute everything else, and run a sweep. You'll want to do a back here so you can see again. You'll want to do this at a 1M and at least 4 times. If you can go for longer, go for it, because you'll get the best you can get out of it. Let's actually do that. We'll do one sweep. We'll do the same sweep, just one sweep, 4M at those frequencies, and we'll just turn off the Puzu, and we'll see what different response we get. Let's just close here, go back to Puzu, and we'll turn off this, so we just have the woofer. Then this here, this green one, is the one we just got. Okay, so that's the one we just got. I'll take off the smoothing. Then you can see the difference between smoothing, the response, the time it takes. So we'll go back here, we'll measure. It's only the subwoofer that's playing at the moment. We're going to go 10 to 200. Let's make it to 180 seconds. That's a bit rough. Let's do 2. Okay, let's do 4M. One repetition. It's quite long, but the system is quite soft at the moment, so it should be fine. Okay, so this is the difference between the two. This is obviously 4 sweeps, 2 sweeps, and this is 1 sweep. So if we just go, we'll take both of these actions and just apply 1-to-1 smoothing as before, and it's pretty much the same. So it's not that much difference if you don't do it, but if you want the most accuracy, you will want to do it that way. The longer tests, they take more time. So let's go back here and we'll put our Puzu, put this back on, and I'm going to go back here, and I was going to do something. I'm just going to pump up the 20 Hz frequency a lot. Let's do one more test with Guru and measure. We'll just do the 1M times 2 with max on 20 Hz. Okay, so that flopping sound that you heard, I didn't actually screw my subwoofer in place. So it was jumping out the box. So we'll go back here and let's do another apply smoothing. This is with 20 Hz maxed out. So exactly the same, just 20 Hz maxed out. Bring the target back in, and 20 Hz is hitting where we want it to hit. Okay, then let's play our music again. So there's your demonstration of tuning a PZ-C31. I hope you enjoyed it. This is very basic. You need to do a lot more testing, and I'm not going to sit here for a few hours showing you what to do. All you need to know is turn on and off your speakers, and then run them individually. Don't forget the timeline afterwards.